Hello, hello! It's Jacqueline from Pixie Dust PhD, and it is currently May of 2022. How did we already get to May? Honestly, I am flabbergasted. But anyway, that means the channel is 27 months old. So in this monthly creator update, we'll go over some Disney Vacation Club news, a little bit of Disney World news, and then we will do stats and analytics for this month, as well as lifetime of the channel. Stay tuned. Let's begin with some Disney Vacation Club news. So excitingly, permits for the Polynesian Tower project were filed, and I will leave a link to the article in the description below. I found this out through Blog Mickey. I don't know if they were the ones who originally found the permit or someone else did, so if I am misattributing that credit to Blog Mickey, I apologize to whomever found the permit. This permit does clearly show the proposed pool, as well as a proposed water activity pool area. I assume that's like a kiddie splash pad or something, so that's pretty neat. The existing nearby longhouses are still totally there with the permit. They remain undisturbed. They will be very close to areas for the tower like that pool, but hey, I mean, if they also get to use the pool, that seems like a perk to me. Of course, we don't know if they will also get to use the pool. They may lock that pool off only to Disney Vacation Club folks. Only time will tell. And based on my reading of the permit, it does look like there will be no construction for a monorail stop. So as I said in the prior update, I do believe that folks staying in the tower, if you want to use the monorail, will have to go take the existing monorail from the Great Ceremonial House. It looks like a pretty smart layout to me though, and I still remain excited, so if you have any thoughts about details in the permits, if I missed anything, definitely let me know in the comments down below. Next, we received some vague news thanks to Disney Files on the Boulder Ridge refurb. Boulder Ridge Villas back in 2019, I believe, were announced to be scheduled for a refurb in 2020 or so. Presumably, the pandemic derailed that timeline. Therefore, Boulder Ridge's refurbishment has been pushed back. I'm really looking forward to this. I think the rooms seem maybe a bit outdated. I do think they could use the refurb and the refresh, so I would love to see what it ends up being. And we did get confirmation that that is still very much in the plans. It is a priority, but we still don't have a timeline for it. For anyone who owns there or anyone who wants to stay there in the near future, I'm sure that's a little bit of a disappointment. It's a bit unclear, at least to me, why there's no timeline given. I suppose they don't want to commit to anything solidly at the moment. That may be a supply chain issue is my best guess. They may also still be tweaking final designs. For example, I think those pull-down Murphy beds are proving relatively popular, so it may be that original designs for the Boulder Ridge refurb didn't have those, and maybe now they're trying to figure out if they can squeeze that into the room layout without it being too tight. Who knows? Like I said, we really didn't get any details, but it is good. I find it reassuring that they still are officially saying that Boulder Ridge refurb is a priority. A few of you have messaged me asking for a Copper Creek and a Boulder Ridge head-to-head comparison, and frankly, because they share the same amenities, I feel like the only real big differences are the rooms, and doing that comparison right now feels a little bit unfair just because Boulder Ridge it's due for its refurb. It's been due for a couple years, so I have sort of been putting that off, hoping that the Boulder Ridge new rooms get announced at some point so we could at least compare what it should be to what Copper Creek currently is. I think comparing the interior of the rooms at Copper Creek to the interior rooms of Boulder Ridge right now as is a little bit unfair. Next and last for Disney Vacation Club news, we did hear that the Disneyland DVC tower has an official name. This will be the Villas at Disneyland Hotel, so no big surprise there. A handful of folks over the past 6 weeks or so have messaged me, privately emailed me, etc., asking for more details about the Disneyland Tower project. In case any of you aren't clear on this, I'm not affiliated with the Disney Corporation at all, or DVC. I don't have any inside information here, so all I know is what they have publicly said. All the information we really know is that they're aiming for a 2023 open. If the tower is going to open in early to mid-2023, you could see sales start as soon as late this year, or maybe early next year in 2023. But if the tower's not going to open until late 2023, you probably won't see sales start until Q2 or Q3 of 2023. Ultimately, we don't know. There are a lot of wonderful folks over on the internet that sort of take pictures of construction progress. I am not at all a construction expert, so I don't have any knowledge base to judge how far along they are. To me, it looks like they're pretty far away, and I would guess they're not planning to open until Q3 or Q4 of 2023, which would mean sales probably at the earliest, I would guess in June or July, maybe next year, so about a year's time from now. But all that's complete speculation. Honestly, I do not know. I don't really think anyone on the outside of the sphere knows, so we all just kind of have to wait and see. And there are two pieces of Disney World news I wanted to touch on briefly. So the first is MagicBand Plus is coming to Disney World. Interestingly, I believe when they announced MagicBand Plus, it was also supposed to be coming to Disneyland. Presumably that's still happening, but we haven't really heard any news on the Disneyland side. MagicBand Plus is just your standard MagicBand, but plussed up basically. So it has like customizable color changing lights. You're going to get haptic vibration feedback. It's going to interact with certain things in the parks, that kind of stuff. I think the notion of like gesture recognition in the parks and interacting with the Fab 50 statues and other interactive elements in the theme parks is pretty cool, but man, that thing is huge. That's my big problem with MagicBand Plus is it looks really large, and if you're going to take up that much real estate on my wrist, could you at least make it a watch? Like, could you put a watch face on there so it would be more multi-purpose? And MagicBand Plus is of course going to retain the functionality of current MagicBands, so no worries there. I believe MagicBand Plus is going to start at $29.99, so $30, which really isn't charging nearly as much as I think they could upcharge for something like this compared to a standard MagicBand, so at least price-wise, it's not too bad. I will be very interested to see if once this does get launched at Disneyland, if you can use the same MagicBand at Disneyland and at Walt Disney World. Because most of these things work on RFID technology, you can pretty much just tune it to recognize a different frequency, and then your Disney World ones wouldn't be compatible at Disneyland and vice versa. That would be a pretty easy money grab for them, so I'm definitely looking forward to see how they approach that. And also I want to know if my standard MagicBands, not the Plus version, but the ones I have, will work at Disneyland eventually. That would be really nice in my opinion. What do you think about MagicBand Plus? Do you think you will end up splurging for it? For me, the size is the big detractor, and I remember when this was first announced, I think it was at a D23, when they were talking about like the color changing lights, my first immediate thought was like, oh, okay, so this is just like when Taylor Swift did it at her concert, so we can all have the same lights on our wrists during the fireworks or whatever. I think it's a cute idea, and I will wait until it's actually fully implemented and we see what the suite of features are for me to actually judge it. Right now, I feel like I'm fine with normal MagicBands, honestly. And last for Walt Disney World, we did get some great news that Fantasmic is coming back later in 2022, so there is no set opening date, hopefully in time for summer crowds or so. They're adding a sequence with Mulan, Aladdin, Pocahontas, Moana, and Elsa, so that should be very fun, and there's going to be technical enhancements, whatever that means. I really enjoy Fantasmic. I haven't seen the one at Disneyland, and I know people always say the one at Disney World was like kind of sad in comparison, but that's the only one I've ever seen, and I really like it, so I'm excited for it to come back and with these new additions. I will say though that when this was announced, I was pretty sad to see that Raya was not included because I feel like Raya would fit perfectly into the sort of Fantasmic storyline with that like adventurous nature that she has. So I don't know, once again, I just feel like Raya is like the ugly stepchild of the current Disney lineup where they're really not paying attention to her or promoting her or anything. I mean, they got the meet and greet for Lunar New Year at Disneyland, which was great, but other than that, she's basically non-existent. So I was really hoping to see Raya incorporated into Fantasmic, and unless they're going to sneak her in last minute and not announce it, it seems like that's not going to happen. Let me know what you think of Walt Disney World's Fantasmic and these proposed new additions. Do you enjoy that show? I kind of feel ostracized sometimes for saying how much I like it, because everyone's just like, oh, the Disneyland one's so much better. And I'm sure that's true, but that doesn't mean the Walt Disney World one is bad. And as always, there's plenty of other Disney news in this past month that I didn't cover, so let me know anything you're really excited about or really ticked off about in the comments down below. I am currently filming on Sunday, May 8th. I have some work travel coming up this week, so this is just when I could fit it in. If I were to pull stats right now, they would be 3 full days short of the 1-month timeline, which feels kind of like a lot of time. I'm not sure when future Jacqueline's going to have time to do the stats, honestly, because to get through May 10th, we would have to look at them on Wednesday, May 11th, and like I said, I'll be traveling for work, so we may only squeak in 1 or 2 more days of stats and still not have the full month, but I'll let future Jacqueline fill you in on that.
Thanks, past Jacqueline. Future Jacqueline here. It is Tuesday, May 10th, so the stats will run through yesterday, May 9th. I decided with my work travel, I really couldn't push trying to record this until tomorrow, so this is 1 day short of a full month stats. In month 27, we got just over 4,800 total views from about 3,000 unique viewers. Of those 3,000 unique viewers, 384 are returning to the channel, so thank you so much for liking the videos, subscribing, ringing that notification bell, and sticking around. Those views and unique viewers resulted in about 415 watch hours for the month. Overall, the channel got about 66,000 impressions this month, with 32.6% of those impressions coming from YouTube. In watch time from those not subscribed was 76.5%, meaning only about 25% of my watch time is coming from people who are subscribed. That being said, we did get 31 new subscribers this month. top videos viewed during month 27, in the number 1 spot, we once again have that old PhotoPass video, followed by the advanced dining reservations video, which has recently been doing pretty well. The next 3 are room tours, 2 of them are DVC, and 1 is over at Universal. Interestingly, number 6 is last month's creator update. I really do these videos for me and to interact with you all in a more personal level. I really don't think of them as like the main point of the channel. They often only get 70 views or so, so it's interesting to see this in the top 10. On the one hand, I think that points to it being a slower month, wherein a video with only 136 views is number 6 viewed this month. On the other hand, it's nice to see 136 of you watching this video. Thank you so much. It really means a lot to me that you're interested in these little monthly creator updates. Then we have our newer Is Memory Maker Worth It video that I posted more recently, the Polynesian Tower DVC news, the recap of table service dining expectations versus reality for our fall 2021 trip down to Walt Disney World, and a Disneyland vlog. As per usual, the vlogs really don't gather very many views in any given monthly period, but again, I post those for my memories, and I hope you enjoy my commentary. Over on Twitter, I am now following 1,045 accounts and 902 are following me. And on Instagram, I am following 446 accounts and 323 are following me. Moving on to the lifetime stats for the channel through May 9th. We have almost 84,000 views, so for the full stats through May 10th, I suspect we will hit 84,000, and that has resulted in almost 7,600 watch hours. The channel now has over 1 million impressions, and 28% of our impressions are coming from YouTube. About 70% of the watch time in the lifetime of the channel is from those not subscribed, so about 30% of the watch time is from folks who are subscribed. Thanks again so much. And overall, we now have 824 subscribers at the Pixie Dust PhD YouTube channel. Overall, when comparing month 27 to month 26, it was resoundingly a much worse month. You may recall, though, that month 26 was pretty fantastic. We had over 7,000 views, over 4,100 unique viewers, 44 new subscribers, over 650 watch hours. Like, many of those were records for the channel. So this was a huge drop, but it was a drop back to what I would consider my norm. For the past 4 months or so, basically January through April of 2022, I'd really seen an explosion in views and unique viewers, with at least 4,000 unique viewers each month and at least 6,500 views each month. This did not always result in a ton of watch hours. For example, in January, I only had 400-ish watch hours, and this month I had, 10 more watch hours with significantly fewer views and unique viewers. But I do think it's obvious that this month, with way less unique viewers and way less views, some of the other stats were hurting, particularly compared to last month. It's always a bummer when your stats are a lot worse one month than they were the prior month, but I'm not too surprised, and while this was an epic fall compared to last month, it still is fairly good numbers for me. This might be the first time where every single one of these stats, though, has decreased from one month to the next, so I am disappointed in that for sure. But lifetime, there is good news. We broke the 80,000 mark for total views, as well as over 7,500 watch hours now, and over 1 million impressions, so those are all pretty cool milestones to hit. And although it's a slow growing stat, my impressions from YouTube overall on the lifetime is still going up, which I'm really happy about. It is currently May of 2022 and we have 824 subscribers. My goal for 2022 is to hit 1,000 subscribers and monetize the channel. There's roughly 6 months left in the year and we need more or less 180 subscribers to hit that 1,000 subscriber mark, which means on average I need 30 new subscribers per month or 1 per day. Now, this is entirely possible. I believe it can happen, but I am a little bit worried because if we go and look at the new subscribers per month for the lifetime of the channel, there are plenty of months under 30. Those months in the first year, I think you expect your growth to be a lot slower, so that's not too surprising. But for example, months 21, 22, and 23 all had less than 30 subscribers per month. These are months obviously that are within the past year of the channel, and for reference, that is November and December of 2021 and January of 2022. The January stat is particularly worrisome because I only got 20 new subscribers that month, even though I had almost 7,000 views and almost 5,000 unique viewers, so we really weren't converting subscribers. All of this is to say that I do believe it's still possible for me to hit 1,000 subscribers. I am still optimistic about it, but every month that ticks by, I grow a little bit more worried that maybe it's not going to happen because the amount of subscribers does sort of fluctuate month to month. Some months it's 30, some months it's 40, some months it's 20 though. So if I have a few bad months and I don't have a few good months to make up for it, it's just not going to happen. Only time will tell though, and I do really appreciate all of you that interact with the channel and share with your friends. You help so much. And briefly, I'll just mention that the decline in monthly views and unique viewers, I believe, is at least partially due to the shorts I've been posting. These really haven't taken off lately, as opposed to those prior months I would have some shorts that were kind of like hits and got a lot of views from a lot of random users that probably don't find their way to my channel otherwise. So like I said, I think this month was very representative of an average month for me, where the shorts aren't necessarily taking off and bringing in this new other audience. Anyway, a bit of a disappointing month, I'm not gonna lie, but it still was okay, trying to keep my head up. And coming up on the channel, we will have at least one more Disneyland vlog, maybe two. I have a room tour of that Hilton Garden Inn Anaheim resort that I stayed in when I went to Disneyland. I'm hoping to shortly post another 7-month availability DVC video, which is looking at availability in early December, which is a very popular time for DVC owners to go. My partner and I have filmed some food recaps that I've just been holding back because other stuff felt more timely, so maybe we'll post 1 or 2 of those too. I am also still working on the disability access service video. I just really want to make sure I get everything right and as clear as possible. That one is so important to me. So I think it's unlikely that will get posted in the next monthly period, but it is still happening. As always, if there's any content you want to see, please leave those in the comments down below. Back to you, past Jacqueline.
Thanks, future Jacqueline. Based on looking at stats today on May 8th, so they go through May 7th, it looks like we had another pretty good month. Maybe no records, maybe dipped a bit from the past couple months, but the past couple months have been pretty great compared to the average of the channel. I am still optimistic about being able to hit that 1,000 subscriber mark by the end of the year, but I mean, I do have to really keep pace and I'm not seeing any huge months, I don't think, so I am still nervous at the same time. If there's ever a video I post that you find particularly helpful, useful, funny, etc., and you wouldn't mind sharing to your friends who are interested in Disney and Disney Vacation Club, I would really appreciate it. I hope you are all staying safe, healthy, and well. For my friends out there in higher education, I hope the end of semester timeframe has not been total chaos, and even if it was, hopefully you're recovering soon and taking some time for yourself. May the rest of your day be magical, and we'll see you real soon at Pixie Dust PhD.